Hey guys, how you doing? Bob McCarty here again, Stradale Bicycles, ID Angel, McCarty Racing, and McCarty Training. Here for another one of our Monday night videos. Tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different. I did it a couple weeks ago and it wound up being a pretty good response from everyone. I'm here at Markham Park again, out at one of the pavilions, hanging out, coming over here doing what I like to do, and that's trying to have fun on the bike, learning some skills. So today I'm going to be using my Stradale 29 full suspension bike, as opposed to I'm usually out here on my 650. No reason for the 29 versus the 650. I enjoy using both of them. But today I'm going to take you to Wheelie Camp. Wheelie Camp is something that I do with my clients through McCarty Training. Take you to Wheelie Camp to teach you the efficiencies of how to wheelie. First and foremost, when I started wheeling a long time ago, I used to go to a nearby parking lot and I would pick up the front wheel and see how many parking places I could cover. And I would do one parking spot. I said, yes, this is the greatest. And then I'd pick up the front wheel and I would do 2 parking spots. Great, I got better. And then I would do 3, 4, 5. Next thing you know, I was flying across the parking lot. The problem was, I don't think I was actually teaching myself how to wheelie. What I was doing was learning how to pick the front wheel up to a specific height and hold it there as I continue to accelerate faster and faster and faster. Not really understanding the concept behind learning how to wheelie. So one of the things I talk about is being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. One of the things I want to try and do is create uncomfortable situations in a controlled environment. Controlled environment is out here hanging out in this pavilion. So in wheeling, I want to learn to get my bike to an extreme position of balance. Once I'm in that position of balance, I understand braking modulation, which means my finger understands how much or how little brake to apply to achieve a balance position, a balance spot. If you can effectively wheelie, it's not about how far you actually go. It's how effective are you in a balanced position. I am not concerned with any sort of distance behind my wheelie. What I'm concerned is how well can I balance, how well do I understand braking modulation. So there's a few concepts that actually go into wheeling. First and foremost, I'm going to do something over here with the steps that are behind, just off to my right side. With a wheelie, it's actually a quarter of 1 pedal stroke is all that I'm allowed to push on the crank to make sure the front end comes off the ground. So I'm going to go from just behind vertical cranks, I'm going to push to a quarter of 1 pedal stroke. That quarter of 1 pedal stroke should get the front wheel to the height that I want it. It should go to my balance point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push down hard enough on the crank, combined with some chest movement to get the front wheel up to the balance point. Then I'm going to do some modulation of the back brake to hope that the bike sits inside that balance point. The reason for the quarter pedal stroke, now let's relate it a little bit to being inside the trail. When I do a quarter pedal stroke, what it does is it takes my cranks from vertical and puts my cranks horizontal. Once I have horizontal cranks, I have the ability to pick up the bike and move it in any direction that I have to. If I go from a wheelie position and I take half of a pedal stroke, well, what happens is you wind up with your cranks in a vertical position. Vertical cranks are dead. The hardest part about a pedal stroke is understanding how to get up and over the dead area of a pedal stroke. So I want to avoid that as much as I possibly can, especially in a wheelie. So what I'm going to do is go up these steps over on the right side of me. In my MTB Skills or Skills 101 video a couple videos ago, I was messing around on these steps. Now we're going to go up them and get a little bit of a close-up so you can understand exactly what's happening with my crank arm. So again, I'm going to go a quarter of 1 pedal stroke. Hopefully that's going to bring the front end into its balanced position. Modulation of the front brake. The safe way to try and learn how to do this is a quarter pedal stroke, get the front up as high as you can, tap the back brake and put the front down. The next time, same thing, a quarter pedal stroke, front end comes up, tap the back brake and put the front end down. Keep doing that a couple times till you create a little bit of memory within your finger. The front end goes too high, I'm going to tap the brake and drop the front end down. What happens from there is actually you start to understand a little bit more about how much braking you're going to apply. You'll start to modulate the brake and not slam the brake to drop the front end. You'll feather the brake a little bit. As the front end starts to drop, I'm going to do a back pedal, push on the cranks again to bring the front end back up to the position that it's supposed to be in. When the front end's back in that position again, the cranks wind up level in the event that I drop the front end to the ground so I can pick up and move the bike around. The one last element to it is it's a little bit counterintuitive to what you think. When you say pull the front end off the ground, I'm physically not pulling the front end off the ground. Prior to doing the wheelie, I'm going to lower my chest, put it close to the handlebars, throw my chest backwards, and take the bike with me. So what happens is as I'm doing the wheelie and I'm in my balanced position, my arms should be almost straight. I'm not trying to hold the bike off the ground. I'm trying to balance the bike off the ground combined with some modulation of my finger to maintain the balance point. So again, a quarter pedal stroke combined with my chest movement and modulation of the brake, in fact, should put the front end up to the height that I want it to. The practice drill is get that front end too high, hit the back brake and let it drop. Front end too high, hit the back brake and let it drop. So first one, we're going to go over here and try going up these steps. Then I'm going to demonstrate a couple of the techniques of going too high, hitting the back brake, going too high and hitting the back brake. Let's see how this goes for us. Stroke first. So I'm just behind the pedal stroke, quarter pedal stroke, hit the back brake. Try the same thing again. Right over here. Quarter pedal stroke, hit the back brake. So I'm creating some muscle memory that when the front end goes too high, I'm going to hit the back brake. So one more. So you can kind of see what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the same quarter pedal stroke, but my elbows shouldn't move. The bike should actually stay in a consistent balanced position, and modulation of the front brake, of the back brake. Modulation of the back brake. Let's see how this goes. So a quarter pedal stroke. And balance. Quarter pedal stroke. Balance. One more try. Quarter. Balanced. Last try. Quarter. Balanced position. All right. Let's look over at the steps now. So going over to the steps, we're going to do the exact same thing. If I'm doing this right, I'm going to have my leg up. I'm going to go a quarter pedal stroke, stop pedaling, put the front wheel down. My pedals should not change from this level position. So if I have to, I can pick up the back wheel and put it right up top with a level crank. So one of the things that we always refer to is RPE. RPE is your rate of perceived exertion. In this, when I try to go up these steps, hopefully my RPE, it's scaled 1 through 10. Hopefully my RPE looks like a 1 to try and go up the steps. Everything that I try to do on a bicycle is based on form, finesse, and technique. I don't want to muscle my way up. If I start here and I require half of a pedal stroke to get the front end up, and then the pedal winds up in a down position right on top of the stairs, I don't have the ability to move the bike forward. Remember, vertical cranks are dead. If the cranks are level, I always have the ability to push on this crank if I have to, or I can pick up the bike. Show you what that's going to look like. I roll over to the steps, quarter pedal stroke, right up the stairs. Quarter pedal stroke, right up. Try the same thing again. One more time. Quarter, right up. One more, just to make sure. Swing out a little bit wider. Quarter, right up the step. So one of the things that you're probably noticing is as soon as I lift up that front wheel and I get it up onto the top step, I'm moving my chest forward to lighten the back wheel so it has the ability to roll right up, right up the step. Okay, so next we learned how to wheelie, we learned how to focus in our balance point, moving our chest backwards, the quarter pedal stroke for the legs. Once you have this system actually perfected, what you can do is start to experiment with a downhill. A downhill, something like this. We're out on the road here at Markham Park. What I'm going to try and do is go down this hill in a wheelie the entire time, just focused in on my balance point as well as braking modulation to sit there. I may have to do one or two pedal strokes, hopefully not, but let's see how this one works out. Perfect. Form, finesse, and technique. Try to get yourself comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Create uncomfortable situations in a controlled environment. Have fun out in a place like this. Oh, and finally, if you're afraid of clipless pedals, practice this in the grass. Put your sneakers on, because fortunately to learn how to wheelie, you do not need an upstroke. You don't need to pull up on the cranks when learning how to go to wheelie camp. So hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's Bob McCarty, Stradale Bicycles, ID Angel, McCarty Racing, and McCarty Training. Thank you for the subscription to my hook, line, and shifter video series. I hope you enjoyed this. You guys keep liking them. I'll keep making them. Have a great day.